Good evening, and welcome to Spine Chilling Cinema. I'm your host, Oliver, the Caretaker Collins, along with what? Alice, where did you get that mask from? That had to be expensive. Oh, you just put it on the Spine Chilling Cinema credit card, huh? Oh, lovely. Now I know where all the money goes. But Alice has a dinosaur mask on. She says it's not a mask. She is now a dinosaur. Okay. Because Alice is excited for tonight's feature film from 1950, Prehistoric Women. Yes, indeed, Alice. Alice is excited because she's like, there has to be dinosaurs in this film. Has to be. Well, we shall see, Alice. No, there has to be. Okay. But this one stars Lorette Louise. You like that name, Lorette, huh? Okay. Let's just get to the film. You don't care who's in it. Well, it's also directed by Gregory G. Tallis. Don't care. Okay. Oh boy, Alice. Alice says if I don't get this show on the road, she's gonna bite my head off like a dinosaur. Okay. So with that, let us get to tonight's feature film from 1950. Prehistoric Women.
Of the prehistoric world before the first historian sat down to write the story of his people is vague. It's founded on the research of archaeologists, their studies of people and dwellings which existed in those times, existed not only in rocky wastelands, but in the warmer climates, in lush prehistoric jungles. Not so very long ago, an explorer in a wild tropic jungle found evidence which told this story. Nobody knows when these events took place. Maybe 10,000, maybe 100,000 years ago. It's the story of romance when the world was young. And as all romances must, it concerns itself mainly with one man, Angor, and one woman, Tigri. This is the woman of our story. She is Tigri, the leader of her tribe. Under the spell of the full moon, Tigri and the women of her tribe dance restlessly, savagely, impelled by a feeling of frustration, of a promise unfulfilled. They dance not knowing why and continue until exhausted. wise one tells them to be calm.
Bro.
This is Loti. This is Arba. This is Tigri. You've met her before. This is Tule. This is Eros. This is Nika. This is the wise one. Old as the moon and wise as the sun. She knows why the young ones dance so restlessly in the light of the full moon. She's telling them the story of the founding of their tribe. She explains that many moons ago, the tribe was founded by Tana, the mother of Tigri. In those days, the women were the slaves. And in Tana's tribe, as in all other tribes, no woman dared question the men. The men needed only to order, and the trembling women hastened to obey. She tells them that when they were small children, they lived deep in the jungle, the young ones of a band of jungle dwellers. This is Tigri's mother, Tana. She and the others have stopped for a momentary rest, tired from carrying the carcass of a dead animal. The angry leader of the tribe comes back to find out why the women are falling behind. To him, weariness is no excuse.
Gora.
Tana and the other women wearily pick up the carcass and continue. By now, the women are completely exhausted and must pause again for rest. Angrily, the leader storms back and yells for them to get going. Row! Bora!
Please.
The rebellious Tana tells him that the men should carry the dead animal. Knocked to the ground, the infuriated, desperate Tana throws a rock at the leader, felling him. Tana immediately realizes that they must flee with the children, or the men of the tribe will take revenge on them. The women quickly gather the children and rush off into the jungle. The stunned leader orders the men to go after the women, but the women have eluded them. The wise old woman tells them how, as time passed, the tribe prospered under Tana's able leadership, and the little girls learned how to fend for themselves. They all learned the skills of hunting and fishing for their food. The child on shore, like all children are wont to do, decides to wander off and do a little exploring herself. The entire tribe is unaware that they have been sighted by the terrible Gwadi. This 9-foot-tall monster has roamed the jungle for years, bringing death and destruction to whatever he touches. Tana sees the little girl is missing and calls to the other women to follow her in search of the child. Savage, merciless, possessed of Herculean strength, Gwadi is the most feared thing in the prehistoric world. The little girl explains to the wise one as best she can that she has seen the terrible giant.
Gwadi! Gwadi! Ela! Eras! Eras! Tule! Ela! Ela!
Gwadi has successfully captured 2 of the women and is carrying them off. Tana was the only one to get away, but has been mortally hurt and dies with Gwadi's name on her lips.
Gwadi! Gwadi!
The wise old woman flees with the children.
Gwadi!
Even now, 15 years later, the mention of the dreaded name of Gwadi still strikes terror in the hearts of these same girls. They know that the hideous giant still ranges the jungle. The wise one tells them that they must forget their hatred of Anir, their word for men. The moon is full. By the time of the advent of the next full moon, they must find and capture themselves husbands if the tribe is to survive. And the next morning, the 6 determined women set forth on their mission, accompanied by one of their panthers. This is the man of our story. He is Angor. This is Angor's friend Ruig. This is Kama and the bearded Ad. Angor and his friends are on a foraging expedition. They're hunting food for their cave-dwelling tribe. They've cornered a savage tiger and are pitting their skill with stone-headed war clubs against this vicious monster of the jungle. The panther, smelling the blood of a dead tiger, excitedly breaks away from the girls. They chase after their pet.
a gun and near.
Odd uses the sap from a tree to soothe Angor's wounds. Suddenly, Odd falls unconscious. Angor and his tribesmen are amazed to see that they've been attacked by members of the weaker sex. Back on! The women order the men to pick up the dead panther and carry him back to their camp.
Welcome back. Alice, you got rid of your mask, and of course, like clockwork, you switched the skull to a dinosaur. Why? Well, yes, I know you always switch things, but why taking the mask off? Oh, Alice is a little sad that, and kind of angry that there's no dinosaurs yet in the film. It's still early. You don't think there's gonna be. Okay. But you do like the women's weapons that they have, the slinging rock things. You like the way they sound, you say, with the whipping sound. Oh boy, she says those would come in handy on a few of her dates that she has been on. Oh boy. But yes, these prehistoric women are pretty savage, I'd have to say. Pretty savage. Alice says that's because you have to be savage if you want to rule the world. Okay, Alice. But unfortunately, a lot of animals have been dying in this film, Alice. A panther and a tiger. You don't want to talk about that. Okay. But now the men are captives. So I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know. So far, the movie is okay. Yes, Alice, I know at the beginning you couldn't see anything. Why? Oh boy. Alice wants to know, why didn't I spend a little bit more money and get a better copy of the film? Well, Alice, somebody uses the Spine-Chilling Cinema credit card and it's almost maxed. Oh, you wonder who that could be. Oh, I wonder too. Maybe it's Bubbles. Well, anyways, nobody wants to hear us argue anymore, Alice. Let us get back to this feature film from 1950. Yes, she says, let's, and there better be dinosaurs. We'll see, Alice. We have one on the table, though, of course. From 1950, Prehistoric Women.
In the meantime, Angor stumbles along through the jungle back to his people.
Ella! Ella! Tana's broke! Tana! Pano! Bro!
What type of women are these Ruig wonders who attack men and live in trees? Nika gazes at her captive, entranced by her first close look at a male. This cave is the home of Angor's tribe, and these are his people. They are mountain people, cave dwellers.
Layla.
Their leader looks skyward at a soaring vulture, knowing that where the vulture settles, they will find a wounded or dead animal. He motions for his hunters to follow him.
Fra. Ella. Angor. Eco.
The men find the wounded and exhausted Angor and carry him back to the cave. Angor's mother and the rest of the cave dwellers crowd around the wounded Angor. His mother motions them to carry Angor into the cave where she can tend him. Weeks have gone by, and the leader of the cave dwellers is marking on the rocks the story of the women as Angor has told it to him. Time has healed Angor's wounds, and despite the leader's protest, Angor is determined upon revenge.
Angor. Gine.
Angor vows to rescue his tribesmen and to bring back to this cave as slaves the women who captured them.
Angor. Angor. Ela.
Angor's mother, who knows of the women tribe, points out the right direction to Angor.
Oro.
She tells him he must cross 2 mountain ranges, that it will take him 2 days' journey to reach the country of the women tribe. Every sense alive for the sound or sight of danger, Angor makes his way through the jungle toward the camp of the women. Angor stumbles and loses his weapon, but cannot stop for it. He finally eludes the elephant by jumping behind a large boulder, and the lumbering animal passes him by. Having lost his only weapon, Angor must make a new club, his only protection against the many dangers lurking in the jungle. Angor gathers some stones to use for the head of his club. He starts hacking two of them together to make a sharp edge. A spark ignites the dry leaves on the ground, and Angor is taken aback by the strange, unknown phenomenon, fire. He stretches his arm out to touch it and draws his hand back in pain. He doesn't understand it, but he knows that this new discovery of his has the power to inflict injury. He is fascinated by the wonder of the first torch. Pier, he calls it pier, his word for fire. The hiss of a python in the tree startles him to his feet. Jabs the torch into the water after the snake. To his surprise, he finds the fire has disappeared. He jabs the torch back again, trying to regain the fire, but it's gone. Strangely enough, the swan dive was invented before the swan. Tigri's jungle women have developed great skill in swimming, and it's one of their favorite recreations. On this night, Tigri, Eris, and Tule are enjoying an evening swim in this jungle pool. Over rocky bed streams, Angor continues on his way. He is now approaching the outskirts of the jungle territory. Suddenly, he sees ahead of him the huge giant Guadi. Terrified, Angor decides that the tree is his best hiding place and quickly climbs up into it.
Oh, you want to... Oh, boy. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Alice was just saying... Oh, boy. How attractive... No, hot, she says, Angor is. Well, that's Alan Nixon. You don't care who he really is. You like Angor. Okay, okay. But yes, he hides from an elephant... discovers fire, which helps him basically scare away a huge snake. And then he runs into Guadi. Yes, indeed. He's just a giant, not a dinosaur. You are still angry there's no dinosaurs. I'm sorry, Alice. You would think that there would be dinosaurs in a prehistoric, a movie called Prehistoric Women, but it's still kind of early. There's still a chance, Alice. You're losing faith in this film. Animals are dying. The only thing that's saving this film is the strong women and Angor. Okay, Alice. Okay, Alice. I do find the movie a little interesting on this point. There isn't really much, at least understandable, dialogue that the actresses and actors have. But the narrator does a good job of explaining, and you can kind of tell what's kind of going on by the way the actors and actresses are acting and their facial expressions and stuff. So I find that kind of neat. But other than that, I'm a little with Alice on this one. There should be some dinosaurs. I'm a little disappointed as well. Yes, indeed, Alice. Hopefully there are some dinosaurs. Oh, yes, of course, Alice. Alice wants me to let you know if you like spine-chilling cinema, and she doesn't know why you wouldn't. We have a Facebook page. You can go to our Facebook page. Just type in Spine Chilling Cinema. You'll see our page. Give us a like. If you want to comment on some things. Alice says, keep it nice though. Otherwise, no, Alice, I'm not going to say what you're going to do if they don't know. Anyways, let us get to this conclusion. Angor, sorry, Alice. How do you screw up such a beautiful man's name, you say? Oh, boy. Wants revenge. Let's see if he gets it. In the 1950 movie, Prehistoric Women.
Pano. Pano.
Bro!
Go. Tana, bro.
It seems that women were women in those days, too. A handsome male captive makes his appearance, and suddenly there's trouble.
Angor! Angor! Rui! Angor! Angor! On! Angor! Come on!
Tigri is not sure yet why she objects, but she wants no interference until she decides whether or not she herself wants him as her husband.
Bro. Cora, bro.
Angor is tempted to strike back at his captor, but the ever-watchful, snarling panther is a warning for him to be careful. He decides that caution is better than tangling now with this strange band of women. That night, with the rest of the camp asleep, Angor decides that this is his chance for escape. Quietly, he starts to climb down the vine. Now, this is easy, Angor thinks. But he's not reckoned with the ever-alert panther, who evidently has just been waiting for him.
Careful. And here.
Tigri orders the women to feed their men. Arva decides that this is a good time for her to make up to Angor and starts to bring him some food.
Arva!
Sudden rage floods Tigri as she sees this.
Arva!
She angrily informs Arva that she has decided that Angor is to be her husband.
Arva! I near.
But Arva violently disagrees.
Tigri and near.
And so the fight is on.
Gone. Gone.
Angor labors over a huge rock, which Tigri has ordered him to move. He can't budge it. Tigri shakes her head at the stupidity of men. Angor finally gives up, humiliated by her look of scorn.
Gine, Elko, Lito.
He asks her if she is so wise and superior, why doesn't she see if she can move the rock? Tigri picks up a huge branch and, using simple leverage, shows Angor how easy it is to move the rock if you use your head.
Angor.
Tigre. Angor.
Tigre? Angor.
This is the night before the full moon. Time is running out for the male captives. By tomorrow, the marriage ceremonies will have been completed. The wise one drums, and the women dance as Angor and the men look on with mixed emotions. Angor knows too well what the coming of the full moon means, either escape or servitude. And as he watches the dance, the women pick up their clubs and demonstrate that in their homes, they will be the master.
Welcome back. And oh, the prehistoric women have captured Angor. What do you think of that, Alice? Oh, aren't they lucky, you say? Oh, boy. But a little jealousy is happening, a little jealousy. What do you think of that, Alice? That's normal, Alice says, and oh, boy. I'm not going to tell everybody at home how you take care of jealous women. Why? I don't want to get in trouble with any authorities. But anyways, yes, Angor is caught. Oh boy. But on a different note, I've noticed Bubbles is seems a little irritated at this film, Alice. Why is that? Too many animals are dying, and Bubbles does not like that. I understand that, Bubbles. Especially, I would imagine, the panther. Yes, and the tiger. I'm sorry, I didn't make the film. Oh, boy. But yes, Alice. What do you think of the film so far? Oh boy, here she goes. No dinosaurs. Really getting angry because this is the last break before the end of the film. I don't know, Alice. I haven't seen this film before, but it is looking pretty bleak. She says the only way this movie is saved is if there's like 10 dinosaurs at the end. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they had the budget for that. But we have one on the table. Haha, Alice says. Okay, well, let us see what happens with this film. It's kind of a sleepy, maybe put you to sleep type of movie, but I don't know, it's all right. We'll just, it's too early. We got a little left. Maybe there'll be some saving grace to the film. We'll see. But Alice says, let's just get this over with. Okay, Alice, without further ado, the conclusion to the 1950 movie, Prehistoric Women.
Surrounded by the watching women and the ever-guarding panther, the men sit idly while Ruig, who seems to have a fetish for being clean-shaven, is scraping his cheek with a sharp-edged stone. Angor is trying to figure a way out of this trap. Suddenly, a tremendous black shadow sweeps over the camp. It is Corax, the flying dragon, the scourge of the skies. And so the tables are turned. The dominant male is happy and contented. Women wait on him as though he were a king.
Tigre.
Tigre, at Angor's command, is out gathering fruit. She's hungry and would like to eat some of the fruit, but no, Angor forbids it. The once proud, fiery leader of the tribe meekly obeys.
Bro, Seco. Trofo?
He offers a piece of raw meat to Angor, who's intrigued by the scent of the meat in the fire. It tastes fine, and he offers some to Kama and Tigre. At first, they refuse. But when they taste it, they both agree that it is delicious. And so, for the first time, cooked meat goes on the menu of this primitive tribe, and civilization progresses another step. Angor's thoughts are of his home and his people.
Eco.
He gives orders that they will start on their long trek back to the mountain home of Angor's tribe.
Tigri. Eco. Angor. Eco. Bora. Ela. Ela.
Angor leads them through the jungle, ever alert for the lurking dangers which abound there. Angor spots a natural cave off in the clearing and orders the group to rush toward it. Then Guadi decides to use his tremendous strength to topple over the huge rock, covering the top of the cave, so that it will crush the men and women inside. Angor orders the other men to make torches. As the giant stumbles away, howling with pain, Angor orders the other men to encircle the area with fires so they can forge a burning circle of death for Guade. Guade is completely bewildered by the leaping flames and terrified by the fire. He screams in fear. Angor finds himself also trapped by the encircling fire and sees that his only escape is to go over it. Tigre looks with admiration at Angor.
Tigre? Iko?
She asks him to change his mind and return to the women's camp with his men, where they can start a new tribe.
Angor, Iko Tigre. Eva. Angor, Iko Tigre.
Angor agrees and tells his friends he has decided to remain. The wise old woman is happy as she sees the pairing off of the couples. She knows now there will be peace between the tribes and that the tribe will increase. She motions for Angor and Tigre to come to her.
Angor. Tigre.
pheromones.
She is going to perform the only kind of marriage ceremony she knows. With the blending of their blood, Angor and Tigri's marriage is completed. The first of 4 marriages to be celebrated that moonlit night, as the women dance the marriage ceremonial to show their happiness. Distant days, even as today, the eternal battle for supremacy between woman and man was solved not through the clout and the club, but through romance.
And that's the end of Prehistoric Women. Where is Bubbles? Oh, Bubbles was hoping that the animals would have got some revenge, but they did not. Oh, I'm sorry, Bubbles, wherever you went. But Alice, there was, I think, a dinosaur. Alice is like, a sad attempt at a dinosaur. Yes, a pterodactyl, I'm assuming. But they didn't really say that, did they? No. Okay, so Prehistoric Women from 1950. It was kind of in color, Alice. That's a bonus. Stop trying to save the film, Oliver, she says. Okay. Well, I guess we should just get to review and ranking. I'll go first. Alice is like, why can't I go first and then I can leave? That's why. Okay. First of all, review of the film. It is a little kind of slow and whatever. It was a fun little movie though. The narrator really added a lot to it. Yes, Alice, without the narrator, it would have been a real steaming pile of, yeah, I'm not going to say that, Alice. But, I liked it. It showed, they did a pretty good job of when Angor discovered fire. He didn't know everything about it, so he'd touch it and it would burn him. And then he tried getting the snake that went into the water, and then he was kind of like, so did a good job of, obviously somebody that discovers something for the first time isn't going to know everything, so they covered their tracks in that. But I'm going to give this, I don't know, it's not that horrible, Alice. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 shovels. 6 out of 10. Yes, indeed. Alice just liked that the women were strong in this film, for the most part, and Angor. But that dinosaur was lame. The panther was kind of small, wasn't really big. You did like the tiger, but of course the tiger died, so you were mad about that. Liked that there was an elephant in it and that the elephant didn't die. Elephant was pretty fast too, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, anyways, what is the rank? 4 out of 10 shovels. You wanted to give it lower, but they tried to have a dinosaur in the film. Okay, Alice. We hope you enjoyed tonight's movie, and if not, hope you at least enjoyed the show. And we've come to the end of the show, and this is where Alice picks out a cartoon, and this time she has picked out a cartoon. It's a little bit of an old one, so, sometimes old cartoons are better than new ones. Yes, Alice, I agree. Especially Scooby-Doo. Oh boy. Alice and her Scooby-Doo. But yes, Alice picked out a cartoon, so just in case if the movie scared you or left a bad taste in your mouth, you can go to sleep with a cartoon in your head instead of the feature film we had tonight. Yes, indeed. You're going to make your own dinosaur film. How much money do we have left on the Spine-Chilling Cinema credit card? Oh boy. With that, we hope you enjoyed the show. And as always, we cannot wait to see you again.